Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Such a great turnout. Thanks for spending this evening with us, because you could have done anything else. So we're so thrilled to have you here, because this is an important topic, because it's all about calming stress and anxiety. And we are living in a real stressful world right now, which I know all of you know about. And so this is going to be a really fun evening where we're going to share techniques. And I guess I better say I'm Titanya Dahlin. My mother over there is Donna Eden. If you don't know Donna Eden, she's the energy medicine health pioneer. And she used to be the healer here in Ashland in the 80s. And some of you know that. And she brought everybody else into into this town. And so we're happy to have her here. But I've been with her from the beginning because she taught me the language of energy. And I'm also on I'm an advanced Eden energy medicine practitioner and kind of go into the certification program, which is international. It's all over the world, is Eden energy medicine, which we're so pleased with. And I teach and I do ceremony in there. And yeah, that's a little bit about me.
A tiny bit about the iceberg is under the water. Hello, everybody. My name is Shawn Doubiago, and I am so excited to be here for so many reasons. One, because I'm with my family. Donna is my aunt, David is my uncle, Titanya is my cousin, and Sandy's my auntie. But also because I think we can say without a shadow of a doubt that we are incredibly passionate about working with energy. It is something extraordinary. We all do it. We all work with energy all the time. But if you know sort of the language of energy, it really allows us to strengthen our vibrancy and bounce back from stress and anxiety. So we're going to spend the next couple hours really diving into some very simple, but profound techniques. What else? I am a professor of comparative literature as well as an advanced Eden energy medicine practitioner. I'm also on faculty. So, and as Titanya mentioned, Eden energy medicine there's trainings all over the world. And in fact, one of the reasons why we wanted to do this class is that Titanya and I are going to co-teach year one fundamentals here in Ashland.
Yeah.
There'll be 4 workshops or weekend workshops. The first one is in May 1st to May 4th. If you're interested, we'll tell you a little bit more at the end, but we're happy to see you all. This is going to be really, I think, a great couple hours.
Yes, yes.
So, shall we?
Yes.
Well, we want to talk a little bit about energy for a moment. Here we are.
Because that's what it's all about.
It's all about energy. Should be a song.
Yeah.
So I guess what I would like to ask you all, or we would like to ask you all, is like, what do you think energy is? Like, how do you understand energy?
It's this force that just moves through the universe, it moves through us, it moves through nature. It's like
the basis of all things.
yeah.
Good answers.
So a force that moves through the universe, through us, through nature, it's the basis of all things. Energy is everything, folks.
Yes.
I mean, it's pretty simple. Energy is everything. So what we're going to spend time doing is talking about ways to support our energetic bodies with, as you said, this crazy climate that we're living in. Well, also anytime, right?
Yes. And as with ourselves, we are energy beings. We are electromagnetic, and we are living on an electromagnetic planet. We affect each other with our energies. The planet's energies affects us. The global political arena affects us. And so it's really good to know simple techniques so that you're not persuaded and vulnerable to the stresses on the outside, because we don't know what's going to happen. We are living in uncertain times, and we need to help ourselves be grounded and centered so we're not so rocked around and becoming so emotional that we're triggered and we take it out on our loved ones. And so that's what some of this is going to be about tonight.
I saw that. That was how sweet. So I wanted to, as Titanya said, we are electromagnetic beings. We also have electricity running through our bodies. Every single cell, and I don't know how many cells are in our body, but every single cell is like a little battery. It has electricity. So we're both electromagnetic, like a magnet, but we're also electric. And so I just wanted, does anybody know what this is? Has anybody seen one of these? Just to show you how our bodies are electric. I might just simplify it by making, are you all okay holding hands for a moment? Would you, maybe just you three hold hands? We could do, yeah, just you three. Yeah. Okay, I want you to hold that. Now watch this. They're just holding hands. If you can reach and touch that metal part, can you do that? Oh, you have to move, sorry. Yeah. I mean, that's a simple, electricity needs a circuit to function, but if you have, we could do 1,000 people and electricity would run through it. You can do one person if I make a circuit. So that's just one little basic idea around electricity, right? We are, when we talk about electricity, we talk about the force, the life force that is in us, as you both said. That energy is the life force that moves through the universe. And I always like to have my little show and tells. Energy is the embryo that makes all of us become who we are today. It's also, I don't know if you all can see that. Does anybody know what this is?
It's a seed pod from a type of evergreen tree.
It's
Wow.
a redwood tree.
The largest tree that there is.
Isn't that
has the
amazing?
smaller
This little
pine cone.
tiny thing creates those extraordinary redwood trees. So for me, that's extraordinary. That's energy, right? That is energy. And we could go on, but we have lots to talk about. So do we want to talk about basic?
Yeah. So in our body, we have 9 energy systems that my mother, her aunt, has found. And these are some of the things that are in Eden energy medicine. And some of them is the aura, which is around you, is triple warmer, which is fight, flight, or freeze, or freak out, stress responses, electrics that Shawn was mentioning. We're all made of electrics. We have chakras running from our base all the way up to the crown of our head. We have the basic grid, which is like a spider web of energy, that when part of the grid breaks, one of those strands breaks, whether it's trauma or loss, then everything else quivers. And so basic grid is your foundation and your structure. Meridians are energy pathways in the body. And 5 rhythms are the Chinese, from acupuncture, and the Chinese ancient wisdom of water, wood, fire, metal, and water. That's within us. And then the radiant circuits are joy generators. It is when you are in love and when you are happy, radiant circuits go everywhere. But when you are depressed and low energy, very hard to make radiant circuits. And so that's part of our system too. And then the Celtic weave is something that is filled with swirls and patterns and figure 8s all around and in our aura, and also coming into our physical being, around organs. And there's swirly patterns everywhere. The Celtic weave holds our protection and support.
And we're going to be using a few of these systems today, certainly not all of them, just for some basic exercises. And there's some very basic principles that we want you to know. You probably already do. Oh, actually, today's class.
Today's class. Today's class.
Very important.
This is what we're going to be covering.
I have a booklet, so please, when we're about to start talking about the 6 techniques, I'm going to hand out the booklet, so we have them out.
You all have handouts.
Yes, you all have handouts. So the other thing we want to say about energy is that there are various ways to move energy. And so it's not just holding or spiraling, but you can ground it, you can empty it, you can stretch it, you can balance it, calm it, envision it, surge it, cross it, shield it, and you can also do a whole system reset with it. So we are going to, again, be practicing some of these techniques today on ourselves. This is all the things that we're showing you today are self techniques, that you do on yourself. And did we have?
And they're all regulating for anxiety and stress. So you're going to be taking away these things that you could, if you never see us again, you have some tools for this world that we're living in.
So if you leave this class or this room with these 3 basic principles, even if you don't remember the techniques, you can turn to these principles and work with your own energies. And the 3 basic principles of energy are, energy wants to move. It's a super simple concept. Energy wants to move. It wants to move in specific patterns. So Titanya was talking about the swirls of the Celtic weave and the grid, kind of like a spider web. All of these different energy systems move in particular formats, in particular patterns. And then energy needs space. Yes. Super simple. Again, if these 3 principles, if you think about energy and you're starting to feel stressed out or condensed or slowed down, think about what's going on. Just sort of measure what's going on. Are your energies flowing? Are they flowing in a particular pattern? And do you have space? So just basic.
One of the things about space to move, when you get a health challenge, it is that which is blocked. So you can think of a beaver with a river, and the beaver dams up the river. That's kind of parts in your body. When you are blocked with energy, that's when health challenges begin to form. And you want to make it move, and you want to have space like that beaver with the dam in the river. You want to clear out the gunk of the river in order for energy to move.
I think we want to ask them about.
What do we have next?
Yeah. So we have something we want to ask you all, and you can write it down or just remember it.
Yeah.
But we want to check in with you, and we want you to just gauge your energy levels. Like, how are you feeling energetically from 1 to 10? And you don't have to speak it out loud unless somebody wants to, but just write it down. Because what we want to do is at the end, we want to see if anything's shifted, if anybody's felt different from being in this community together, or doing the exercises, which I hope you all will join us in doing. So just write it down or think about it.
Yeah, you remember your number, or if you don't like numbers like me, you can think of a color.
Yeah, there you go.
That you might, or a gauge in some way. Yeah. Are you low?
What's the spread?
1 to 10 or
1 to 10, okay.
different color, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or a gauge of some kind. Are you low? Are you high?
Yeah, there you go. And keep that in mind, right?
Yeah, so let's go to this one. So, what are some of the signs of stress? And we're asking you. Anybody can talk.
Not being able to sleep.
Good one.
Yeah, yeah.
The energy feels constricted. Excellent.
Energy feels constricted. I'll say it out loud, yeah.
Frustration.
Frustration, excellent.
Unbalanced.
Unbalanced, who said that? Great, thank you.
Physical pain and inflammation.
Yes.
Physical pain and inflammation. What did someone say?
Anxiety.
Anxiety, absolutely. What?
Pressure in the head.
Pressure in the head.
Aggressiveness.
What is it?
Shallow breathing.
Shallow breathing.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, excellent. I heard another one.
Aggression.
Aggression, yeah. Yeah.
Shoulders up.
Like this? Shoulders up. Yeah.
You get it easily triggered.
Lethargy.
Easily triggered. What did you say?
Lethargy.
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 Yeah, lethargy. Is that how you say it? Lethargy.
Same thing, yeah.
Yeah. Tomato,
Yeah.
right? So it's pretty easy to figure out what stresses us out. And notice how these are radically different signs of stress and anxiety, but they're all related to feeling overwhelmed or feeling disconnected. So thank you for that.
Yeah, and there's so much more. It could be digestion issues that goes into your physical body, digestion issues. It could be confusion and foggy brain. It could be hormone issues, hormone imbalances. It could be feeling as if you're aging too quick. It could be, all sorts of things come in there, but triggered is a really good one.
Yeah.
Because you get triggered with stress, something's in your field, and all of a sudden you're yelling at your child or you're yelling at your partner, and then you go, oh my gosh, what just happened? That's not like me. Or you're yelling, and it's something.
And low energy also, right? Very, just feeling like you can't, you have no motivation.
No
right?
motivation,
Yeah.
depressed.
Yeah. Do we want your mom up now?
Yeah, let's bring
Can
her
we bring up Donna Eden?
Yeah.
You might need to stand over with her.
Oh,
She
yeah.
has the mic.
Okay, yes. So this is my mom, Donna Eden. If you don't know her, she is the pioneer of Eden Energy Medicine. And you should talk about yourself a little bit. And
she's my aunt.
Well, I lived here for 20 some years. David, how long did we live here?
20 years.
About 20 years. And then we went around the world with our book and energy medicine. And now Tanya's moved back, so I've got to get back here more and more and more and more. With her grandson. And I'm thrilled to watch these two, watch somebody else teach this. But did you want me to teach something about it?
Yeah, are you willing to do like some small exercise?
Oh,
for
sure.
stress?
and maybe talk a little.
How am I going to do this?
Yeah, I'll keep holding it.
Okay.
And just the exercise about how stress hits your body really well.
Okay.
But you want to do an image test.
Okay. How about I would like a volunteer up here who feels really good right now.
Somebody over here.
You feel really good? All right, come on up. Now, what's your name?
Krista.
Krista.
It's wonderful
Okay.
to meet you.
Oh, it's wonderful to meet you too. Okay. So I'm going to energy test Krista. And if she feels as good as she says she does, she's going to, yes, she's very strong. She's just pushing up against my hand. And I'm,
It's because I've learned from you.
Okay, but now, so, everybody see that she is nice and strong, right? Okay, let's see it one more time. Okay, now, bring something to mind that bothers you, stresses you out, anything like that. Just bring it to mind. You don't have to tell us. Okay? Now, you're going to do the same thing, and I'm going to just do it with one finger. That's how quick stress hits the body. I mean, it is instant. It is automatic. It's not, you can't just think your way out of it. You've got to, it is about stress. So you want to know how to move your energies to get strong. Have you ever done this? Have you ever thrown your hand up to your forehead? Anybody else? You know when you just feel, it's
Oh my God.
yeah, oh my God. I was thinking these as the oh my God points. Well, so if I'm going to, just for a minute, I'm going to hold your points right here. These are often good points when you can't sleep, by the way, whoever said that. You don't hold them hard. You just, with a firm touch and kind of pull to the side. And now this takes longer than most techniques they're going to show you tonight, but these are great ones to know because when you get stressed, the blood leaves your forebrain and goes into your body for the fight, flight, or freeze response. And what was that fourth one you said?
Oh, freak out.
Freak out. Yeah. Yeah. Freak out. And so because your hands are electromagnetic, when you put your hands up here to your forehead, you draw the energy and the blood back into your forebrain so you can think again. And when you're really stressed out, it's hard to think sometimes. So these are great. Now I would tell you, I can't even tell you how long to do it. It just totally depends. And this may not have been enough time, but we're going to see. Just think of the stress again. Okay? And hold your arm. So when you bring the blood and the energy back up to your forebrain, I mean, it not only helps you move through the stress and be able to think again, it's healthy for you. You know, it's just really healthy because I mean, stress is really rotten for your health. In fact, I'm going to just show you something else, okay? Is that okay?
please.
Oh, okay. I mean, she's strong, and this is just something that over time you can see I don't know, you can calibrate it a little bit. Like right now, just hold your arm real strong. This is spleen meridian, and this is the meridian that's first affected when you get stressed, that you lose your energy in. You get triple warmer, that energy has the ability to suck energy from anywhere in the body that it wants to. So I'm going to give us, everybody do this with us. I'm going to give you a great technique. You're going to rub your hands together, and you're going to shake them off. And you're going to lay your hands sideways over your closed eyelids. And you're going to take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth and drag your fingers to your temples. A lot of people, rub their temples when they're a little bit stressed. But if you just hold them and take one deep breath while you're holding them. Now take your fingers on the next in-breath, go above your ears, and then around your ears, and down your neck, and hang on your shoulders. Now take a deep breath in, push your fingers into your shoulders, drag them across, and just drop them. Now that's an amazing technique because what it is, it combines a couple of different techniques. And this first part is you're going to try to regulate things differently so that over time you won't get stressed out over the same things, okay? It takes you longer and longer to get stressed out. It is so much fun to see you. How long ago was that?
25, 30 years.
Yeah. I was teaching a class in Liverpool. She was there. Okay. So this regulates energy. And then when you get to your temples, these are points called neurovasculars for triple warmers. So you just hesitate there for a bit, and then you go up around your ears, and around your ears, you're going backwards on triple warmer, which takes energy out of it, and then you come down to your shoulders, push in hard, and then just drop them. Now, I'm going to test out spleen again. That's why that one is so important, is because spleen governs just how good you feel about life and everything. It also governs all the chemicals in your body and help you to feel happy, help you to feel just at peace. So it's a really good one. So this is a great exercise to do. Is that all, Tanya?
If you want to do it more, you can keep going. It's up to you.
Well, I guess I'll let you go. And I'll give them, this is their class. Okay.
Thanks, Mom.
The description of the exercise that Donna just showed is on page 6.
Yes.
So
And
just
we
so you
will
have
repeat
it.
it.
We'll repeat it.
We'll repeat these, but yes. So we're coming to this one. Grounding.
All right. So we human beings are sentient beings. We are kind of like the plants and the trees in that as trees need to ground, the roots that go down into the ground, humans do it as well with energy. So if you think about a tree and you think about the roots going down and the leaves reaching out, we humans have, you've probably heard the yin-yang energies. The yang energies are coming from the sky, the heavens. They come down into our bodies and go into the earth, while the yin energy comes from the earth, comes up through our feet, into our bodies, and goes out through our heads and our hands. So we're conduits of this yin-yang energy at all times. And what happens, though, is that because we live in today's world where stress is prevalent, to say the least, we are constantly being bombarded with energies and emotions and images and everything that actually cause us to feel ungrounded. So what we wanted to do today is to talk, before we do anything else, we want to work on grounding. So a couple of the ways in which you feel ungrounded, if you feel a disconnect, like you just can't connect with people, family, or just the life in general.
Or even your God or goddess. You're just like disconnected. Disconnected from nature is a disconnect.
Absolutely. If you're feeling anxiety, which we're going to talk more about, if you have trouble listening, have you ever been in that place where you just can't quite hear? You can't, like, you hear somebody, you hear what they're saying, but it just doesn't go in. That's a sign of ungroundedness. Picking up other people's energies is
Being
a very
too sensitive.
strong sign. Yeah, if you're sensitive and you can't help but pick up other people's energies, it's very likely that you're feeling ungrounded in that moment. You want to say something?
Oh, keep going.
Okay. If you feel, somebody mentioned frustration. Pent-up anger is also a sign of ungroundedness. Resentment, right, is another way of feeling ungrounded. General discontent and feeling a little spacey. You're just kind of like, not quite there. Yeah. And I think, we said
that's
all.
it.
Yeah. So we want to see.
And there's so many more.
Yeah.
There's so much more of being ungrounded, but even wearing shoes that are rubber and we can't connect to the earth is a big one too. So it's so great to go out. When here in Ashland, we have so many wonderful places to get out to nature, but every now and then take off your shoes and walk on the earth, because that's the best way to ground rather than all the tools out there. You just do yourself. But if you are so stressed out, then sometimes you're not picking up as much from the earth as well. And so doing some of these techniques are so important to connect to the earth.
So we're going to do a simple exercise. I want you to see we have, I think, 18 spoons. Not enough for everybody. But this was actually a special spoon that a student gave me because it's kind of beautiful. But it's a household spoon. It has a little bit of a magnetic pull. Most stainless steel spoons have a little bit of magnetic pull. Now, I don't know if you remember, but I did say earlier that we are electromagnetic beings. So theoretically, if I were to describe myself as a magnet, this would be the north, and the bottom of my feet would be the south. Those are the polarities, the magnetic polarities in our bodies. That's how, when we're feeling good, the magnetic energy should be. So we're going to test somebody's grounding. We're going to tap. Anybody feel a little ungrounded, like any of these signs, anything that you want to come up? Why don't you come on up? Is it okay? I'm going to ask you to take your shoes out. Thank you. Oh, you're wonderful. Thank you.
Should I take my socks off?
No, you're okay with socks. You can leave your socks on. Thank you. Okay, so all I'm going to do, why don't you sit down? Can everybody, well, I'll show you what, I should have brought my foot. Can everybody see a little bit kind of what we're doing? So I'm going to ask you, I'm going to have you stick your hand out, just like Donna did. Let me get over here so I can test you from this way. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to push down, and I'm going to have you resist. Have you ever had your energy? Okay, so I'm going to have you take a deep breath in, and relax and meet my pressure. She's pretty strong. Let me do that one more time. Deep breath in, and relax. Okay, let me tap the bottom of her foot with my hand. I'm just going to tap, and this one here. Okay, I'm going to do the same test. Have you take a deep breath in and hold. So that means that what is your name?
Katarina.
Katarina. Katarina is not picking energy up from the earth. What I tapped was the K1, the kidney 1 meridian source point. And it's like there's a little vortex there. That vortex sucks energy up from the earth, the yin energy. And so one of the reasons why we feel ungrounded is that for some reason it's not sucking the energy up. It's not pulling the yin energy up through her body. So I'm going to do one simple thing, and I would love it if those others would want to spoon. Anybody else want to spoon their feet?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, so we're going to...
Oopsie. Of course, yes, absolutely.
Spoons.
Spoons
So
are
we're
bouncing.
going to do every
So
other
I'm gonna have
one.
you put your foot.
Yes, spoon.
Are you okay like that? I'm just going to spoon it. Okay.
Spoon.
So maybe I'll be quiet for a moment.
Spoon.
We do want the spoons back, people.
Okay, pass spoons
know.
down. Here you go. Oh, that's a pretty one.
So I'm going to rub the bottom of Katarina's. Yes.
Here you go.
That's right.
You can pass them to some
I'll go
others
this side.
down there.
Is that
Okay?
better?
Sorry.
So I'm going to rub Katarina's foot, the bottom of her foot, vigorously, like this, to start off with. You can also go up and down. Does that feel good? You can also do figure eights. We'll talk about figure eights at some point. But just rub the bottom of your foot with a spoon. Remember that there's a little bit of magnetic pull, not enough to harm you, but enough to get the polarities and the grounding moving. Oh, good idea. Okay, I'm going to rub, 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 rub. I'm going to do the other foot now. And also, while I'm here, I might as well say, is that sore at all? Another way to help with grounding, since I'm at Katarina's foot, is to go in between the bones. These are called gaits, G-A-I-T-S. If you rub in between the bones and move the energy, because energy gets stuck in our feet a lot. Does that feel good or hurt?
It feels good.
Yeah. So I'm going to rub Katarina's foot. Rub, 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 rub. Can you feel it? Can anybody feel it? Yeah. And if you don't feel it, it's okay.
It's still doing its
It's
thing.
still doing its thing, yeah. It tingles, yeah. So can I tell a secret?
Yeah.
We keep spoons by our beds. We spoon our feet in the morning before we get out of bed. We spoon our feet at night before we go to sleep. I have a spoon in my purse. Do you have a spoon in your purse?
Every now and then, yes.
Do you have a spoon in your purses? No. Anyway, it's so simple. It's so simple, and yet if you're not grounded, nothing else is really going to work. If you're grounded, you can pretty much face anything. Okay, I'm going to have you. So I'm going to tap. Let me tap the bottom of her foot again.
What does the tapping do?
It's to check the energetic flow.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm going to have you take a deep breath in and meet my pressure. She's much stronger, much stronger. So I would say spoon your feet.
And especially before bed, if you have a sleeping problem, spooning is so good.
It makes a huge difference. Thank you. You have a question? Oh,
What's the difference between spooning your feet or massaging your feet?
well, actually, we didn't mention this, but we are going to try and hold questions until the end because the filming, it will help. So if you write that down, we will respond. Thank you. Does anybody have any? Oh, you got my other favorite spoon. So did that feel good to people? Did you notice a difference? Really, as Titanya said, if you're having problems sleeping at night, spoon your feet before you go to bed. I do it, like I said, at night and in the morning, and it makes a big difference.
And one of the other things I'll say is inflammation. Yeah, I have a lot of inflammation in my legs, and I spoon all over my legs. And that every now and then I get headaches, and I put the spoon up on my headaches. And I've also heard that it's really good for wrinkles.
I need that one. All right. So we are now going to start working on the 6 exercises that are intentionally for stress and anxiety.
Oh, okay. So the first one, and it's in your handouts, it's the crossover shoulder pull. So in our bodies, our energy field wants to cross over. It crosses over from the right brain to the left side of our body, from the left brain to the right side of our body. But all these crossover patterns happen inside of our body and in our energy field. That's what it's supposed to do. But so many of us, when we get under stress, we go parallel. We don't cross over. So the right hemisphere is going to the right side and the left hemisphere is going to the left side. When this happens, then we get very scrambled in our energy fields. We get very confused. We can get clumsy. We could get discombobulated. We can get brain fog. We can get exhausted, completely tired if our energies aren't crossing over. Our energy wants to cross over. So this exercise is for this, the crossover shoulder pull. What it does, it reinforces the crossover patterns and it balances and harmonizes the energies in our body. These crossover patterns happen all the way down to our DNA strands, which are crossovers. In ancient civilizations, they had on stone circles and cromlechs and dolmens the crossover. In Celtic form drawing, they put Celtic forms on swords because it was protective energy. Figure eights are so important. So that's the figure eight, the crossover pattern. And so this exercise also improves coordination. It clears thinking and it helps with balance. Do you want to say something about the optic chiasm?
So some of you might know this, but when we look out through our eyes, what goes into my right eye is actually going to the left brain. And so the left brain, same thing, you look from your eye on your left side, it's going through the optic chiasma, which is literally your eyeballs are here and it crosses over to the opposite side of the brain. There's also the medulla, what is it? Thank you. Yes, which also is a crossover in the body. So these are just examples of how our bodies need these crossovers. So perhaps there's one of you who feels a little discombobulated or a little clumsy, or not clumsy, nobody's clumsy here, or a little exhausted. Anybody want to test and see if your energies are homolateral? We call, when it's parallel, we call it homolateral.
Yes.
We want the energies across.
And you can
thank
get
you.
more you can get more dyslexic too if you have dyslexia. So your words can get scrambled.
Absolutely.
You can't find your words.
I'm not pushing you out.
Oh, yeah,
You
no,
can
no,
you can
problem.
go this
Oh, do you
side.
want me to hold this while you do that?
Yeah, hold it
Okay.
up. So we're going to ask you, I'm going to use this hand. Is it everything good? Yep. I'm going to ask you to look up at these two straight lines and tell me when you have them in your mind's eye.
Okay.
Take a deep breath in and meet my pressure. She's pretty strong. Okay.
All right.
I'm going to flip it over. Okay, now I want you to look at the same place. Tell me when you have it in your mind's eye.
Okay.
And meet my pressure. She's strong that way. So she's strong.
This was the parallel lines and the crossover. That's what we're testing for.
Theoretically, we would like for her to not get strong when she sees the parallel. But she was.
I just rubbed my foot.
So you're in good shape.
Yeah.
So we're going to ask you to do this exercise. You want to lead
Yes.
it, Tanya? And then
So one of the wonderful things about wanting to cross over, if you have a health challenge and you can't get well, if your energies aren't crossing over, then it's going to be a lot harder to get well. If you are depressed and can't find your joy, then you're probably homolateral. Your energies aren't crossing over. So this is a really important thing to do. So I want everybody to do it with me, and you could stay in your chairs or you could stand. We're going to take one hand and cross it over to the opposite shoulder and give a little bit of rub, dig in, and cross it all the way over to the opposite hip. And then the other side. You can breathe with it if you want to. Just breathe on your own. Breathe in and out. And in and out. And you just want to do it with a little bit of pressure. And breathing is so good for you too, because that is about energy moving as well.
It is.
Okay.
All right.
So,
So we're going to retest. Tell me your name.
Wendy.
Wendy. Okay, we're going to retest Wendy. We're going to start with the let me use that hand since okay, so tell me when you have it in your mind's eye.
Okay.
And meet my pressure. You see that little wobble?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now turn it over. Okay, deep breath in. And tell me when you have it in your mind's eye.
Okay.
Ooh, nice and
So,
strong.
It worked better for me to close my eyes and actually visualize
Exactly.
it.
Good.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that
That's
it
when I
was
say
in
mind's
my
eye.
mind's eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she was, Donna has such a technique that you see the hand going. For me, I know that when there's a wobble, if there's a wobble, it's a weak sign of weakness. You could feel it,
I
right?
could feel it.
So
Yeah, I
that's
could
really
feel it before.
important. Those of you who come up, notice how it feels when it's strong and when it's weak. You
Yeah,
could tell,
I could
right?
tell right away.
Excellent. Yeah. So crossing your shoulder, the
Crossover shoulder pull.
really good when you're feeling
Yeah.
a little discombobulated. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
The power of the crossover.
Oh, we cannot emphasize it more. All right, so we're going to move on to number 2, and we're going to be talking about this exercise called blowing out the venom or
venom.
expelling the venom. Now, this is a really good exercise if you often feel irritated, frustrated, angry, righteous. Well, maybe not righteous, but
Stubborn.
stubborn.
You can't let
resentful,
something
you're
go.
holding on. So it's one of these. It's very much linked to. Titanya mentioned that we also work with the 5 elements or the 5 rhythms. This is an exercise for the wood element. So if you have questions, we can answer that later. But this is really good for pent-up anger, for resentment, for minor irritations, even something simple that you just want to get out of your system. What this does, this exercise, is it also helps, I love this, it helps lower your blood pressure and your heart rate. How many of us get worked up and our heart starts going, right? It brings you back to a normal state. Oftentimes when I'm in this state, it sort of ruminates and it's like, So we are going to show you this very simple exercise, and we want somebody who knows, who can conjure up that feeling of anger or, how about you? Come on up. All right. Hi. So tell me your name.
Sally.
Sally. Hi, Sally. I like your hair. So I'm going to test you. I'm going to use this hand, if that's okay. I'm going to have you take a deep breath in. Make sure your fingers are straight out. Yeah. And take a deep breath in and meet my pressure. Hold. Okay, she's pretty strong. I want you to think about whatever it is that you had in mind. Just feel it in your body. Tell me when you're ready. Okay, deep breath in and meet my pressure. You see that? She's struggling to hold it. Okay, we're going to do an exercise. I want you to think about what made you weak, that anger, resentment, or something. You don't have to tell us what it is. But we're going to do what's called blowing out the venom or expelling the venom. Let me show you once slowly. I would love it for everybody to do this. Just so you know, when we expel that venom, it's going to compost into this beautiful earth of ours, right? It's not, you don't have to worry about it wandering around. So here's the exercise.
And you're not going to throw it at your partner. Bring it down.
Is you're going to take your hands, you're going to make a fist, you're going to take them down, you're going to bring them all the way up, and you're going to go with a shh sound. Shh. Okay, so that was a practice. We're going to do that 3 times, fairly fast, and then 1 time slow. You ready? Yes. You want to let go because you're expelling that anger, that venom. So
And I like to think of that shh as like shh, IT. Shh. Just so you don't have to do the last part, but it's shh. Get it out of there.
Get it out of there. That's right. All right, so you grab your fist, bring your hands up, and shh. 1. Bring your hands up. Shh. 2. 1 more. Shh. Now, once really slow. Take your hands, bring them up. All right. Let's see if that helps Sally. Thank you. All right, I'm going to have you think about the thing that, I'm going to have you take your hand up, take a deep breath in, and my pressure. Like, she's hard as rock. I could feel it before I even touched her. Could you feel the difference?
Yeah.
So the beautiful thing is you can still be angry, but it's not impacting your energies. You can stay strong, and you can be clear-headed when you want to, have that discussion you're going to have, or whatever it is, right? And also, you just don't want that negative stuff in your body. You want it out of you so that you can, remember, have more space to have the flow, have the energies move.
One of the things that I'll give as an example is that anger, it sits on the wood element of the Chinese 5 elements. And I had my gallbladder out at the age of 30, and it was quite a while ago now, but when I realized that there was no cleanses or diets to help my gallbladder and I had to go for surgery, if anger gets stuck in your body, it can affect your organs, and gallbladder is one of them, liver is another one that it can go into. So when I came out of surgery, I realized, oh my gosh, I was such a good girl, and I stuffed my anger, and I couldn't expel and express myself. And so from then on, I have always tried to find ways to let it go in a healthy way. It doesn't always happen, but I try.
It's getting better.
It's getting better.
We are perfectly imperfect.
Yes.
Thank you, Sally. Thank you so much. Are you going to show the...
Yeah, so I would love to show you something I do with the kids with this one, and it's called Taming Your Dragon. So one of the things that I do with energy medicine is I do energy medicine with kids, and it's so much fun to do it with the adults because we start to find our little girls and our little boys inside, and they get happy when we do it in a fun way. So I'm going to share with you Tame Your Dragon. So it's the same movements, but I'm going to walk you through how I do it. So let's all stand up. All right, so I'm going to walk you through this. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to find something that we're frustrated with, angry at, resentful of, and we are going to pretend like we are dragons. And those dragons, they can have colors. You can imagine your dragon being so powerful. And we're going to bring up our wings, and we're going to bring them up, and we're going to latch onto that anger with our claws, and we're going to roar down. Roar! And then again. Roar! And again. Roar! And right here, let out the last bit of poison. And now you have to fill them with some sort of positive light or love, and we're going to open up our dragon wings of light and love and fill it with something beautiful, because we've let out what we don't want, and then just wrap it around yourself with a nice big hug. Dragon wings of light. All right, you've tamed your dragon now. Okay. All right, so we're coming back to the exercise that my mother showed, which is the forehead hold. And this I sometimes call, because it's forehead and back head, so it's the forehead back head hold, or the forehead back head sandwich, which I sometimes call it. So this is when the blood leaves your forebrain when you are stressed out and you can't think. You mix up your words. You get really scattered or confused. You have the emotional looping going on over and over again. Oh, he did that to me, and I can't let it go. And it goes on and on and on. And that's the emotional looping, your story that you keep telling your best friend over and over again, and you can't get out of it. That's emotional looping. And so, like my mother said, oh my God points. Sometimes you go, oh my God, how could this have happened? And that's instinctual, that your hands just literally go up to your head, because here are these points called neurovascular. Is it neurovascular?
Neurovascular
holding points. So this helps calm your system, your nervous system, but it also brings back the blood to your forebrain so that you can think.
Can I say one
Yes,
thing about
please.
this? If anybody has that experience where they just can't stop crying, you know, like children too, this is really good for children, but like that, you just can't stop for some reason, right? So that's another element of this forehead hold.
And this is such a good thing to do for your best friend or your partner, to hold their head. They can be thinking about the situation, and you could keep holding their head, and eventually you can't think about that situation anymore. Your story doesn't loop anymore, and you come out of it. So this is what we're going to do. You can rub your hands together.
Do we want to test or no?
Yeah, we could do that.
It's up to you.
Yeah, do it.
Do you want to test? Does anybody feel like they can?
Want to feel it from an energy test? Yeah.
Come on up, yeah.
All right.
I'm going to have her sit here.
Yeah. Yeah, how you just keep that there. I'll move this.
All right, so you can sit down here. So what I'm going to ask you to do, I'm going to do that same kind of test, inner test. What I want you, let me just test you. Deep breath in and let go, meet my pressure. Oh, you're a little weak. Oh, well, look at that. So I'm just going to, why don't you just kind of tap your stomach one for me.
So this grounds you too.
This
These
also,
are
this
stomach
is the
points.
yang grounding. So the yin is the spooning of the feet. And the reason why I've asked, what is your name?
Lisa.
Lisa, to tap here is because we're working with the stomach meridian in terms of the test. Let's see if that's helped a little bit. Okay, have you take a deep breath in and meet my pressure. Much better. Do you see that? I'm sorry I'm blocking you all. So I want you to think of something distressing, something that really sort of knocks you out and makes your energies like you're emotional. It brings an emotion. You tell me when you have it. Okay, I'm going to test. So I'm going to have a deep breath in and meet my pressure. Yeah. See, I mean, she couldn't even hold her hand up, right? So I'm going to hold. Is it okay if I hold you?
Sure.
While I'm holding Lisa's forehead and back, if you all could do that to yourselves and just
Or you can do
feel
it to a partner
Yeah, if
too.
you
You
have
can do
somebody-
it to
yeah.
each other as well.
This is a really beautiful thing to do, like if you're watching TV or, if you have somebody who's lying down and you just want to hold. Very soft hold. This is a very gentle hold. The neurovascular holding points are all through the head. There are many of them, but these are the main ones, the front and the back.
This is also a really good thing to do if your partner can't fall asleep. I've had my partner put his hands here, and immediately my thoughts that were racing begin to just calm down, and I can go to sleep. This is really wonderful. I also have another way that I do this, that in the morning, if I can't remember my dreams, I'm in bed and I put my hand up here, and if I have an inkling about what that dream meant, all of a sudden it will come full back. All of a sudden I'm like, oh, that, and then I could write it down. But you can remember your dreams. It's also good for memories. Somebody who is elderly in your life, this is really good because the blood comes back and they might be telling you about their stories and their memories in their life.
So
Then the hands go here.
So I just want to say you can hold 3 minutes, probably would be the minimum, 5. the longer you hold, the more stressed out somebody is, give them a good 10, 15 minutes. What I'm feeling right now, I don't know if you can feel it, but I'm feeling a lot of energy and pulsing.
Yes.
That's a good sign. You feel that?
Yes.
So because typically when people get stressed out, the blood does drain. It goes to the back brain, right? We start working with that reptilian brain of ours. We think, we make decisions, we're creative with our forebrains. So as I'm holding these neurovascular holding points, I can feel the energy back in her forehead. So I'm going to ask you again, to think about that, that feeling that you had. Okay, I'm going to have you take a deep breath in and meet my pressure. You see, but she couldn't even hold it up. Could you describe what you felt when you, what was the difference between?
Well, yeah.
Sorry.
Before
Just a moment.
Sorry.
Before feeling the light pressure on my head, it was there was just clearly lots of stress and emotions because I was asked to think about something that was stressful and emotional. But with that pressure on my head, it was interesting to feel the pulsing.
Mm-hmm.
It felt as if the energy was just moving and starting to kind of dissipate and release and sort of dance around. I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain, but it was really interesting because it wasn't a real the cadence was off. I don't know, but it was chaotic kind of. So
If I had more time, I would probably hold longer. I know I
Right.
would, but just to see the difference between the before and after, I think is really important. So we can do this to ourselves, and we can do it for other people. Thank you. Lisa, right?
Yes.
All right. So let's move on to number 4. And these are all described in your book, but you don't have to use your booklet now. Oh, the triple warmer smoothie. So Donna talked about the triple warmer and the spleen early on. The triple warmer and the spleen meridians are 2 of the 14 meridians that really work with survival, with fight, flight, or freeze, or freak out. I love the freak out. Tanya, out of the freak out. This is the triple warmer is the guardian. It's the meridian and the energy. It's both a meridian and an energy that will keep us alive no matter what. And the interesting thing about the triple warmer meridian is that it can conscript energy from any other meridian if it thinks it needs to fight, flight, or freeze, or freak out. The thing about it, so there's a really powerful relationship between the triple warmer and the spleen. They're opposites on the flow wheel. So when triple warmer is at high tide or at its max, spleen is often at the low tide. And because they have this relationship that's an oppositional but also a working relationship, because spleen is the nurturer. So you have the guardian, the one who keeps you alive, and then you have the nurturer, the meridian that metabolizes everything, that keeps you sort of, takes care of you, basically. But triple warmer will take energy from spleen if it thinks it needs it. And the problem with triple warmer is it doesn't have good discernment. Meaning, it's an incredible thing, but it also, if it perceives threat, or if you're traumatized, and it'll take you back into that kind of PTSD without thinking about it, and it'll keep you alive. So,
triple warmer is also, it's all about survival. And it doesn't really necessarily think about your happiness. It's all about your survival. And so this is a real old kind of energy system in our body that when we were, way back when in the time of the caveman and the dinosaurs, it was on, running away from the dinosaur. But in today's age, that comes on in little tiny stresses, like when you're driving in your car and someone cuts you off. You're like, ah! It comes up, and you're already stressed and trying to get to your appointment. It's little tiny stresses that shouldn't be stresses at all, and so that's when triple warmer comes up. I love to you know, the analogy of triple warmer being like a warrior and spleen being like the mother. She's the nurturer and triple warmer is the warrior. So there are these two opposites, but sometimes that triple warmer is on full force, and that nurturing energy, that mother energy,
Here,
or
you
the
could
queen.
take my energy.
Yeah, always
Here,
giving,
take it.
giving. So we want to balance these. And the way we do it is take away a little bit of triple warmer's force so that the spleen could get a little bit more. She could come up and do her job.
Right. So just to remind you all of some of the signs of triple warmer mood swings. It has a lot to do also with our temperature gauge.
Yes.
You know,
And the temperature
addictions,
gauge,
yeah.
this is a good one for hot flashes.
Yes.
So temperature and fever. This is a good one if you have a fever.
Somebody mentioned earlier muscle tension, right? This is a great one for muscle tension. Hypervigilance. If you're like, you know, it's that guardian in you, right? Insecurities, difficulty relating.
Yeah.
Sorry, hysteria, right? So panic. These are very strong emotions. Triple warmers. It's, again, trying to keep you alive no matter what. So we can, since Donna tested on somebody, we can either do another person or we can just do the exercise. What would you all like? Do the exercise.
All right.
Okay. So if you remember, we're going to rub your hands together and shake them off. Does anybody know why we rub our hands together? It creates the electromagnetic forces in your hands. It wakens them up. Can you feel the heat? So we're gonna, I like to put your hands, your palms on your chin and cover your eyes and take a deep breath in through the nose if you can and out through the mouth. Good. Let's take another deep breath in through the nose and pull your hands up, because we're gonna, once we've got, we're gonna, again, take a deep breath in and pull your fingers around your ears and breathe out. We're gonna come down our neck to the shoulders, dig in a little bit here. Let's take 3 deep breaths and push in with the pressure. And then you can either drop your hands, or you can also, if you feel comfortable, put it on your heart and take another deep breath in. Either way.
This place here is kind of like coming on home. It's a really nice one to just kind of center and ground yourself after sometimes exercises.
And just a reminder, Donna mentioned this, but we're tracing triple warmer backward. We're taking a little bit of energy out of this hyper-vigilant warrior. So we're tracing it backward when we go around the ears and then coming down.
And when we go over this meridian here, we go right over the temples, and the temples are connected to triple warmer. Have you ever had somebody just rub your temples when you have a headache? That is connected to that energy. And so you can calm yourself in that way.
I could you feel the energy coming?
So this would be good for someone who has a headache or a migraine?
Could be, yeah.
Triple warmer often works with
Yeah.
Hey, Shawn,
Yeah.
there's another thing.
Come up here, Donna.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes, come on.
Well, I was just going to add that when you take your hands down your neck, you're coming down your vagus nerve.
Vagus nerve.
Thank you. And your vagus nerve controls and governs all of your nervous system. So it allows your nervous system to calm too.
Thank you. We love when you come up here.
We do. Every invitation, Mom, to come up and say something more. All right, so we're coming over to the heart chakra calming crossover. This is a good exercise to do when maybe you're somewhere that you don't want to show anybody that you're doing this. This is a really good one to be discreet. And actually, you're already doing it.
You are.
That's beautiful. It helps calm you. It soothes your heart chakra, which was here on the chest, around the chest. It reduces stress. It supports your clarity. It just brings you on home. And, oh, we're going on to this. Okay, the heart chakra calming point. And all you have to do is take your hands and bring them underneath your armpits with your thumbs up. You are covering your spleen points here. Spleen points are right in here. And so spleen is also about the metabolizing energy. The metabolizer is you're metabolizing emotions, you're metabolizing food. The spleen does so many things with metabolizing. So this is just a really good one for calming your whole nervous system. And it just feels so soothing. You can go to sleep like this in bed, and it can really take you down deep.
And again, you can do this in the post office line.
Yeah.
You can do this, anywhere. Nobody will know what you're doing, right? And you're calming yourself down. It feels really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So we are at number 6.
Mm-hmm.
This is a really good exercise for fear. And so we're going to perhaps ask somebody, well, let me talk about it for a minute, and then we'll see if anybody has a fear that they want to work on. So the triple warmer fear point is a point that's in between your 4th and 5th fingers right there. It's called the gamut point in energy psychology. We have one of the world's experts here on energy psychologist, David Feinstein. And what you're going to do basically is you're going to put your left hand on your heart and you're going to tap it. And I'll explain what we're going to tap 10 times. But before you do it, I want to test somebody. And then you'll take 3 breaths and then we'll tap again. So does anybody have a fear of something that they really want to just see if they can?
And it also could be an unknown fear.
Yeah, like
There's
anxiety.
so much uncertainty in the world. So there's
Yeah.
a lot of fear coming up. Anger, fear, a lot of it.
Thank you. What is your name?
Carrie.
Hi, Carrie. Come on over here. So I'm going to do that same test, if that's okay. I'm going to have you put your hand out straight like that. I'm going to have you take a deep breath in.
Did you want me to think of the fear
Not
already?
yet. Not yet.
Oh, okay.
Deep breath in and meet my pressure. She's nice and strong. Okay, so now I want you to think of that fear. And you can put your hand down. Let you, just feel it. Tell me when you have it in your... All right, I'm going to do that same test. Deep breath in and meet my pressure. You see that? It's definitely impacted. Like she was rock solid before. And I can feel even in your body. Okay, you can let go. So here's what we're going to do. You okay? Mm-hmm. Okay. We're going to put our left hand over our heart. I have to be careful of the mic. You're going to take, you can take 2 fingers, 3 fingers, and you're going to tap. It's that little gamut point between your 4th and 5th finger. You're going to tap 10 times slowly. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So now we're going to take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. And then I want you to tap, again, at your rhythm as you take 3 breaths, deep breaths in and out. You do it on your own rhythm. Did you think? Okay. Let's just see. So I want you to get back in that state of the fear. Try to conjure up that emotion. Okay. All right. I'm gonna have you take a deep breath in. And no pressure. She's hard. I can feel the difference. I don't know if you can see it when she puts her hand up. I can feel it. So what happened is that by tapping that fear point, she was thinking about the fear, and it's like a circuit. Actually, maybe you can describe it, David. How does that gamut work?
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. I love it. Even better. But let me just say one thing. If it didn't quite go away, do the other hand.
Okay.
Do the right hand. So start with your left, and you would do the exact same thing with your right. And oftentimes it's even hard to remember it's hard to feel the fear when you've gone through that process. So it's a really good, so many of us are afraid of what's going to happen and how things are unfolding, and if we have children or if we have older parents, like all of these things cause fear. So it's just a really good exercise for fear.
And it's on the meridian of triple warmer.
It's on the meridian of triple warmer.
That is,
Thank you.
desensitizing what is going on.
Yeah.
And when you have it in the heart, or you have it over your heart, you're also you can the heart beats. The heart beats. The heart beats, and there's something about that beating of that rhythm of the heart and beating of
Absolutely.
Yeah, finding your own rhythm is so important in this particular exercise.
So thank you.
Yes, this one. So this is what we covered tonight, is the crossover shoulder pull, the blowing out the venom, the forehead hug or hold, triple warmer smoothie, heart chakra calming crossover, and tapping the triple warmer fear point. And these are some of the techniques you're going to just take away and experiment with. Maybe we go back to that place that they were in the beginning. Your gauge, whatever number you had before, whatever color you had, go back in and see where you're at now.
Did it change? Yeah.
Oh, good.
Excellent. So look at how some simple exercises can really impact our energies and impact our mood. It allows us to be more resilient in the face of challenges. It allows us to bounce back. Inevitably, we're going to feel stuff, right? Inevitably, life is challenging. But when your energies are moving in the patterns they should be moving in, when you're flowing, when they have space to move, you can bounce back much quicker. You're not sick as long. If you catch a cold, it's like that. I haven't had a cold in a while. But like things, you just feel better. You're more resilient. And we need it. So we need all of you working on your energies so that you're strong and powerful and vibrant.
So that because we are energetic beings, we affect each other. So when you are working on yourself and helping your nervous system calm down in the midst of stress, then you are feeding this beautiful world of ours. Like our mother says, what does she say? What that motto, that Eden Energy Medicine?
Raising the vibration.
Raising the vibration
of the planet one
person at a time. Because it is about that. It is.
So do we have time to do the shot points?
Oh yeah, let's do that. That's
Do we want one more exercise?
Yeah.
It's not in your book, but we
will go on to question and answers
Q&A.
too.
So this is, we have a gift for all of you. Hopefully.
You have enough?
I hope so. I think I gave Sequoia a whole bunch of them.
Oh no!
So you might have to share. So I'm going to test the shock points. So I want to know if anybody has heard something shocking.
Or
haven't we all? Do you want to come up? So, yeah, what level?
Probably give a better answer than nobody knows.
Yeah, we would love that. Yeah,
what's that?
the triple warmer point.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
yes,
David
okay.
Feinstein is also, as famous as my mother.
And energy psychology.
Energy psychology, and he's written books himself. So it's really nice to have him here too.
Yes.
So when I said nobody knows, that was half true, because the psychological community, I'm a psychologist, really does not understand how tapping on the skin has anything to do with psychological issues. What happens? Here's what I think. What I think happens is that when you think of a fear, your amygdala, the entire part of your brain that has to do with emotions, the limbic system, goes into action. Even if the saber-toothed tiger isn't there, but you think about the saber-toothed tiger and the brain goes into that reaction. What happens when you tap on a variety of acupuncture points is that it sends a signal to the part of the brain that has been activated by your imagination. So the signal goes right to that area, and that signal has the effect of balancing that area. So if that area is in hyper-arousal, it will calm it. So your brain's actually getting opposite messages. It's by bringing the saber-toothed tiger to mind, it brings you into arousal. By sending the electrical signals to that area, it calms it. So the physical becomes more powerful than the mental. Okay? The physical becomes more powerful than the mental. So so your body really does not have a choice. It just calms it. And that's in a nutshell what I think is happening. And why does that happen? How does that happen? Is because when you tap on these different acupuncture points, you are generating a signal that is, it's like in energy psychology, is kind of looked at with a lot of suspicion by conventional scientists. But there is some overlap, because scientists really do understand, biologists understand what's called mechanosensory transduction, which means that when you stimulate certain cells, they generate an electrical signal. That is not just in the woo-woo area. That's part of how we keep balance. That's part of how certain physical processes need to happen, is that there is this well-known fact that you really do generate an electrical signal, and that's what gets attracted to the part of your brain that got activated when you thought about the saber-toothed tiger. So boom, it goes right up there, and it does what is needed. It will either decrease overaction or increase underaction. So it can go to the frontal cortex if you're solving a problem. So you're trying to figure out how to do something, and you tap on acupuncture points. Those signals go to the part of the brain that's been activated by your thoughts, and they will see what's needed. And what's needed is to increase action. So that's it in a nutshell.
And just so you know, Donna and David have written a book that just came out a few months ago called Tapping.
Yes.
All right, so back to shock. I don't know how to hand these out gracefully, so maybe I can toss them, right? Can I just pass this around and you'll all get one? It's basically a bouncy ball. But there's a I call it my shock ball. So I'm going to, tell me your name.
Sarah.
Sarah, hi Sarah. I'm going to ask you to, actually let me test you, is that okay? Stand up. Because I'm going to do that same test as I've been doing. I'm going to have you take a deep breath in and meet my pressure. Okay, you're nice and weak. All right.
Thinking of my
Oh, don't think of it yet. Well, go ahead and tap. Let's just do some tapping. Tap the stomach meridian. This is grounding from the yang energy going down in from the skies down. See if that helps. Nice deep breaths. All right, let's see if that's helped a little bit. Okay, I'm going to have you do the same thing. Deep breath in and meet my pressure. Oh yeah, do you see that? Much better. Okay, I want you, you don't even have to, well, sit down for a second. I'm going to, actually, would you mind? Okay. I'm gonna test, so on the bottom of your heel is a point called the shock point. It's right there, right in the center of your heel. It's what I call, it's like a release valve for shock. So if I'm gonna just hold this spot with my finger, can I test you? And I want you to just think about the shock. Deep breath in, and your pressure. You see that? She can't even hold it up. So she's got shock in her system. Did everybody get a shock ball yet? And maybe I'll keep going just because for time's sake, but they're being passed around. Hopefully there's enough for everybody. I'm gonna literally just press. Normally what I would say for the shock ball is to step on it right there. It's going to hurt.
It's amazing.
It's going to hurt like hell. Like heck.
Yeah.
For some of you, because you probably have a lot of shock in your system. You want to do both feet, yeah. In fact, I'm going to ask you to take that off. I'm just going to hold her. Actually, are you okay putting your legs on me? Both of them? Yeah.
Show what you're doing.
You can't see? I wish I'd brought my foot. I
Yeah.
have a great foot.
Pushing
So,
right here on the heel of
On
the
the
foot.
heel.
I mean, I have a
That's where
fake
you
foot.
put the shock ball.
So,
Yeah, and you step on it.
You step on
you're
it.
going to step, like pretend
Right
this
here.
is my foot, the heel right here, you're going to step on right there, and it's going to hurt. Has anybody tried it yet? It hurts, yeah. So you can also use your thumbs or your fingers on somebody else. So that's what I'm going to do for you. Put your feet on my, I'm just going to press. So if you're doing it on somebody else and you're pressing, for 1 second. If you're doing it on somebody else, you can press really hard for a minute. If you're doing it on yourself, you could stand on even a rock. I mean, the shock ball's soft because it's a little bouncy. I find it really effective. It doesn't hurt. Does it hurt?
One hurts more than the other.
Yeah, exactly. You will find that one usually hurts more than the other. Which side hurts more?
Right.
That's your yang side. Whatever that means. But I'm going to press in for a minute. Again, this is so what I'm doing is when you step on that or when you push on that shock point, you're releasing the shock energy in your body. It can be brand new shock from just something you heard, watching the news. It can be shock of, losing somebody. It can also be residual shock from the past. What's that? Generational. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Is this referred to like as a negative type of shock, or could shock be any kind of?
If you don't like surprise birthday parties and somebody throws you a surprise birthday party, it can be shock. Yeah. It's because the body is. Thank you. The body interprets. That might take a long time. But what I would suggest is to do it a little bit every day.
Yeah.
You'll find that it will actually not be as tender
So
if you do
true.
it. Right. Okay, I'm going to check now, see if that's helped. So I'm going to put one, let me hold this. So I'm holding her shock point. I'm going to have you take a deep breath in. And meet by pressure, hold. Yeah, see that? Can you feel that? Yeah, thank you, Sarah. So that's just a bonus. And plus you get the ball.
Yeah. And it's
So
so interesting, just like what we said before, energy needs space to move, and it can lodge itself in different places. Trauma lodges itself in the body in different places. We're all so unique. So if something for somebody that you don't feel that any pain on your shock point, or to somebody else, it may have, something may have lodged somewhere else in the body, but that is the traditional shock point.
I think we're ready for questions.
Yes.
Yeah, so yes. So how do you want us to handle questions?
Yeah.
Oh, repeat it. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I have two questions. The first one was, what's the difference between using a spoon on your foot or just massaging your foot?
And then the shock ball?
No,
I see. Oh, well, it's the spoon has that little bit of electric, like you saw. Oh, the question is, what's the difference between putting a spoon on your foot and just massaging it? You know, there's a little bit of magnetic pull. So when we're working with the polarities, the body's polarities, we're also working with the grounding. So when you use the spoon, that tiny bit of electromagnetic, the magnet is flipping the polarities back over. Massaging is really good, but it doesn't have that electromagnetic pull.
The other question about muscle testing, I've never felt confident, you know, you can do the finger thing. Like, how do you muscle test yourself?
There's some really good techniques. Actually, Maggie has a whole.
Repeat the question.
Oh,
How do you muscle
how
test
do you
yourself?
energy? We call it energy testing because we're working with energy. It's not the strength. But how do you energy test yourself?
Yeah, we have a half an hour. We can show something.
Sure.
It's very wonderful to
Yeah.
learn how to energy test yourself.
Will you be teaching that in the classes?
We do. We
teach
do
so
teach.
many things. Yes.
So it's a very intensive 4 times a year course that we're going to be teaching the
Yeah.
fundamentals.
Since
of
she's talking about it,
energy
here it is.
And we have limited space available, but it starts on May 1st to May 4th. The dates are there, right? Yeah. But it's life-changing, I would say. This Fundamentals Year 1 course is life-changing. And it's really, it's geared to work on yourself and to work on family and friends.
Yes.
And it's the foundation if you want to continue and become an energy medicine practitioner, which we are. You can also continue to get your certification. So it's a pretty comprehensive course.
Is that class in Ashland or?
Yeah.
Yes, and it hasn't been in Ashland for a long time. So we're so excited.
Yeah, we are very excited.
How do you sign up?
Oh, well, Shawn has her email here.
You can take a picture of this and email me. I also have my phone number if you want to call me. And it's also on the Eden Energy Medicine Fundamentals class website. So you can go there and register. Yeah. Oh,
Which one?
Yes, actually, I'm going
January
to.
26th.
Oh, yeah, that. Yeah, I'm not good with numbers. Yeah, that's 2026. The last class.
That's right. I will be actually sending you emails just thanking you for coming, so you can always respond to me when I do that. We're going. That's
We're
to
trying
be
to find
TBA.
out. Yeah, and it's going to be a wonderful venue that we're going to have, because when you're in the fundamentals classes, you become like family, and it's just becomes so wonderful and magical.
I mean, lives change really. It's with community. It's you just feel better because we have these tools, and it's very deep.
For the rest of your life.
And you have it for the rest of your life, really.
And it's so important because in our day and age, going to a doctor when they can't figure out what's going on with us, because we're all so individually unique and they are very costly, you want something to empower yourself. This is energy as a language, and energy helping your own body heal and be vital when you get older in life is so important. And I think that, in the future, energy as a language is going to be learned. This is going to continue for the rest of our lives, and it's going to be so important, and people are going to come onto it much more. And what did Oz, that guy, Dr. Oz said, that energy medicine is the wave of the future?
Yeah.
Definitely. It's about empowering yourself.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So you asked if we would show
Energy test.
Energy test.
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
Yeah.
Do you have any?
Let's do the sway test, because
Okay.
I think
The
it's
pendulum?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I love this test because I test all my foods. Sometimes I test shoes and things with this, but it's a wonderful test because it's using your own body's natural energies to tell you and communicate with you. So what you do is, like, we don't have anything else. Okay, I'm going to take this water. And so what you do is take the substance, whether it's a food or, a food or a supplement, like a vitamin. You can test your vitamins, and you're going to put it close to your solar plexus, this area right here. Pull your elbows in. And what I do is I close my eyes so my thoughts aren't involved. And I breathe in and I breathe out. And if it's good for you, you're going to go forward to that food or supplement. And if it's bad for you, you're going to repel it. It's a pendulum. So your body doesn't want that, so it will go backwards. This is a fine art, but it is so good. We have many different videos all online. About the sway test, the pendulum test.
And I'll just add one variation because I don't go forward and backwards. I do a circle.
Oh.
It's like circle clockwise. It means it's good for me. And I didn't mean to, but I've told other people, and they say, well, I've never been able to do the forward backwards. So just pay attention to what your body is saying, because some of us go forward and backwards and some of us do circles.
So, yeah?
Does your crossed or parallel
Homolateral.
homolateral, if you're homolateral or crossed, will that impact the test?
It could. Even your polarities can impact the test. So sometimes you want to spoon your feet because that's about polarities before you do a test, and that will really help. Or get yourself out of homolateral. Yes.
What I would say about this particular test is practice. Practice, feel it. Like you'll begin to feel. Your body will start to recognize the language of this test. Yeah.
Is that related to the use of a pendulum? Because I do pendulum testing all the time.
Yes,
it's
the same.
I don't know.
You just make your body.
The question is, does that relate? Does the pendulum or using your body, is it the same as using a pendulum? And
You just make your own body the pendulum.
right.
It is.
Yeah.
the
So
same.
basically,
Yeah.
the same.
A tool, the pendulum is
Yeah.
a tool that's extending
Your
the
energy. Yeah.
That's right.
And so I
Yeah.
teach people that all the
Yeah.
time at the crystal
Okay.
store. Yeah, you're your own
So
pendulum.
that
You don't need to buy
kind of counts as a form of muscle testing in a way.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I want you to all stand up because we're going to do this. I know you don't have food, but you can do this to even test yourself. And so you're going to, in your mind, you're going to have a yes or a no.
Actually, if you have a piece of chocolate or a fruit in your bag, you want to test it?
Yeah. So we're going to do this with our names first.
Oh, okay.
So, my name is Tanya or Titanya, and I'll go forward. My name is Mortimer, and I'll go back. You want to find some sort of different name. So you may want to test. So you're going to take your hands and put them on your solar plexus and take your elbows back. You may want to close your eyes because your thoughts are out of it. And breathe in and either say your name or give me a yes. And give me a no or say the other name. All right. How many people felt it? Some people will and some people won't. There are other tests that you can do too. The pendulum test is a really good one. We do have other tests that are great too.
Yeah. I guess we could
But
do
we'll just, should we show those or not? No?
It's up to you.
I don't know.
We could do the.
Let's do some more Q&A.
Yeah.
Question answers.
So I hope that answered your questions.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay. Any other questions? Yes.
I was wondering why you muscle test by leaning across the body instead of standing on the left side of the body.
I can do either side.
Oh,
So the question was, why am I standing on
the opposite side.
opposite? Oh, for me, I wanted people to see, but also I prefer to be opposite because what I'm doing, for me, notice, I'm holding on, I'm making a circuit. Remember that electric circuit? So I'm holding on to the shoulder and I'm pushing down. Does that explain what you're asking?
Yes.
For me, it's just that circuit is important for reading energy.
But you couldn't make a circuit by putting your hand on that same shoulder.
Like this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could. I could. It just feels better for me. So this is probably personal taste.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. Yes.
When triple warmer takes energy from spleen, does it take energy from the other meridians that are backed up behind spleen?
So the question is, when triple warmer takes energy from spleen, does it take energy from other meridians? Yes. Yeah. I wish we had a thing to draw on, but yes, it can take from any. Triple warmer can conscript energy from any other meridian.
Except the heart.
Except for heart. There you go. Thank you. Except
The heart is queen.
Nobody touches the heart. But yes, it can. The thing about triple warmer and spleen is that they're an opposite. There's a flow wheel, and each of the meridians covers a 2-hour time period on this meridian flow wheel. So triple warmer is from 9 to 11 at night, and spleen is 9 to 11 in the morning. So that it's a relational thing. Yeah. Does that help? Yeah.
What does that mean? So I don't understand the timing.
Come to our class. No. I'm sorry. The time, it's a very complex system with flows and controls and
high tide, low tide.
Yeah, we wouldn't. Yeah, but this is basically coming from Chinese medicine. The 5 rhythms, the flow cycle, the meridians is all from ancient China, from a long, long time ago, thousands of years ago.
Mom, you could jump up anytime you want.
Come on.
She is the encyclopedia here.
I was just thinking, you might notice that there are times.
There are times of day that you feel better than the other times, or times that you like to eat, and other times you don't want to eat. And that has everything to do with these every 2 hours. I never eat at night. And it has everything to do with the rhythms that are coming into your body at that time. And I hop out of bed and rush to the refrigerator in the morning because I am a spleen girl. I gotta get, and if I eat at that time, I never get fat by what I eat in the morning, ever, because my body metabolizes it and the spleen is working really well. So
can I say one thing about the
Yeah.
meridians, because I think it's relevant? Yeah. We all just changed times.
Yeah.
Right? And that hour, there's more accidents after, especially going forward.
Yes.
But when you trace your meridians to the correct time, like now we're an hour forward, you don't have the problem. Jet lag, the same thing. When you go 3 hours away, like from California to New York, or 9 hours away, if you trace your meridians to the time that you're arriving in, you don't have jet lag. It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Trace your meridians to the time you're arriving in.
Like if I was to fly to New York from the West Coast.
I get the jet lag. How do you trace their meridians? For
Come to the class. I know. Actually, we do it. This is the Bible for these kinds of questions.
Yes.
Donna with David, right? So you can get this. I don't know if any of the local bookstores must carry it, right?
I have the audio.
Energy medicine. It came out in 2008. Is that right? And this one did, yeah. And what I want to say.
And she has Energy Medicine for Women.
They
They both wrote a book on energies of love and the relationships between couples and how it's all about energy. It's just so good.
Yeah, some really good stuff.
You want to do that?
There's also copies of those in the library here.
Nice.
Yay, for members. So, yeah, you have a question?
Yeah, I was wondering, I have a 1.5-year granddaughter, and she doesn't sleep well. So, can you do the spooning and feed? Can you do this with her head?
Absolutely.
Yes.
So the question was, this woman has, what's your name? Sherry has a 1.5-year-old granddaughter who's not sleeping very well. So can she do these exercises on this 1.5-year-old? Yes. Mm-hmm. These will not hurt anybody. In fact, they can only do good. But this one, really good for sleeping, right? But also spooning the feet, absolutely.
Yes.
Try it and let us know what happens. Yeah. Any other questions? Yeah.
So, when we were talking about kinesiology, you're asking, my understanding, you're asking a yes/no question. It's the way I think of it, and I do the finger for myself. But when you're pressing on the arm, that's not asking a yes/no question. That's asking strong or weak.
Strong or weak. Yeah, that's a good,
Or that's
well,
what you're
for
checking for.
energy tests, you can do, the yes/no is really, is this good for me, or is this true, or is it not true, right? The yes/no. And for it, when we're using the energy test, we're checking to see the flow of the energy. So what happens when you get these emotions is that the energy stops. Something blocks the flow, and that's what causes people to go weak. But if your energies are flowing, it should stay strong. I hope that answers your question. Sort of.
Strong. Like,
What's that?
The truth
is always strong.
That's why they coalesce. Thank you.
Wait a minute. We have one little surprise.
Oh. Yeah.
It's a little surprise for two of you. So I secretly posted a little star and a little heart on two of these. So Wendy, and Krista, you two get
Books.
And
the authors are here if you want to sign.
That's right. So I don't know who. So this is Donna's. It's a Bible. It's really everything we've just talked about and way more. The fundamentals courses are based on this. And then this is a beautiful, the little book of energy medicine. So it's a very condensed, very sweet version of this. So I don't know.
Yeah, lots of techniques in this one.
Yeah.
That one's explaining everything.
I don't know who's going to take which one. Maybe I'll put them down here and let you pick them up. I don't want to have any responsibility. But thank you. So
She's gonna go do it. Go, Wendy.
I will make a sign up. So if you're at all interested in the class, maybe I will make a sign up sheet.
Or if you want to come and ask us any questions about the class, we're here too.
Do you know what the investment is going to be?
It is $1,195 per class, and there's 4 classes throughout the year.
How much?
$1,195.
And how long is
They're from, we start on a Thursday, we go till Sunday, 4 times a year. So the dates are, we start in May.
So it's 4 days.
Yes. May 1st to 4th, July 10th through 13th. Class 3 is October 2nd to 5th, and then the last one is in January 26th. And if you can't make one of the classes, there's ways to get around that. But hopefully you can make all of them, because it's really, it's an amazing journey, I would say. Really incredible journey.
And there's also a lot in between classes.
Yes, a lot.
Yeah.
And I mean, I would just say, if you're at all interested in energy medicine, to go onto the Eden Energy Medicine website. There are so many free videos and information, and it's a huge community.
Is that EdenMethod.com? Is that the one?
It's on the back.
Oh, it's on the back.
Thank you. You all have the information, yeah. But we just want to thank you all for coming out.
Yes.
I mean, what a lovely.